Welcome back to another video. My name is Raffay, aka the Crypto Network, and in today's short and sweet video, we're going to be talking about the Fed. The Fed, crypto, the government, and their involvement with digital currency, the pros and the cons, and things that you want to hear and need to learn in a short amount of time. So, as always, I like to keep things as simplified as possible. I like to talk to you guys as if I'm talking to my friends or family. And again, before we get into the video, if you guys would like to support me further, be sure to join the Crypto Network Community Discord, free, with over 178,000 members. And if you want to support me further outside of YouTube, outside of TikTok, outside of all my socials, you can join the VIP club with over thousands of community members who are following my trades and my signals. And if you guys would like to support me further, you guys can always check out the links below in the description. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. I haven't posted in a while. It's not because I didn't want to. It's just because, whenever you're trying to make these types of videos, you have to pretty much, make sure things are very interesting, And what better topic to talk about in today's video than the Fed? Why is the Fed so important? What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with crypto? What's going to be happening in the future? And, if I live long enough, maybe I will be able to be right or wrong about certain things. So, a lot of people have the common issue and difference of opinion when it comes to certain things about the Fed, right? What is the Fed? The federal government, okay? Now, when you think about crypto, you think global, right? But as much as people want to believe that crypto is decentralized and it can't be controlled by a specific party or individual, that's not entirely the case, because emotions and other people's actual mental health is involved. Your emotions, your brain power, people's connections within everything is involved. If crypto didn't care about anything else when the economy was crashing, when COVID was happening, why did crypto crash, right? Whenever something big happens, why does it affect crypto? Because as much as you want to believe it or not, what the government says and what specifically the US government says has a lot of common interest to pay attention to. Now, these last couple of weeks, we've had FOMC meetings. We've had those meetings where we talk about interest rates, where we talk about whether or not we're in a recession. And I want to keep this video short, but I want to explain the logic behind the government's impact and why certain things are the way they are. So, first thing straight, people are going to first thing I want to say is people are going to have the issue and difference opinion of, hey, just because the U.S. government says something doesn't affect the entirety of crypto or the stock market or anything. But unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you this. When you think of issues and problems and a full representing government, you do naturally just think of the U.S. government, okay? You do think of the U.S. government. Now, why is it that every month people are listening to none other than Mr. Jerome Powell? Jerome Powell first took office as chair of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System on February 5th, 2018. This guy has a lot of power, okay? For legality, for the legality of certain reasons and certain circumstances, I won't be going into too much depth about my opinion about the government, but I will say this. People think we're decentralized. But what this guy says matters so much. It moves the markets up and down thousands of dollars. Just go look at the price of Bitcoin. Just go look at the price of, anything you want to look at. Anytime he speaks, action happens. Movement happens. Transactions get pushed. Why? And this guy is the U.S. Fed chair, right? This guy is just the U.S., so why does he have so much power? Now, I won't go into too much in depth about that, but I do want to explain what I feel like the government is trying to do and what narrative they're trying to push. Now, I've been talking about this for the last like week and a half now in my VIP club, and I always talk to them about stuff ahead of time, and they always get the, if you guys don't know, the VIP club is $40 a month. You can, it's like a Patreon. You can support me if you want to. You don't have to. You guys still get these videos. I always talk about what I'm buying and selling every week, and again, like a weekly signal. So that's what that is. All the information for that, again, in the description. But what I do want to say is the government's narrative has trying to push CBDCs, central bank digital, central bank digital currencies. So let me explain to you something to make things a lot easier for you. So what is a central bank digital currency? A CBDC is a digital form of central bank money that is widely available to the general public. Central bank money. So essentially, they want to push a narrative of digital currency being controlled by the government. It won't be anonymous. It won't be by anyone that we don't know. And I do want to make this simple as possible. They have a lot of potential here. Now, the reason why is because if you go look at Bitcoin, right, and you look at anyone who has invested into Bitcoin in the last 2 years, just go look at the chart. Let's just use the last 1 year, okay? Anybody who invested any time before June is at a financial loss since last year, okay? Since last year, you are at a loss, okay? That is fair to say. These are the facts. You can't deny that, right? Almost 90% of people are at a loss if they never took any profits, okay? In the last year alone. Now, if you go look at the chart wider scale, anybody who bought in the last 2 years is at a financial loss, okay? Anybody who bought since December of 2020 is break even. Anybody that bought at December 18, 2020 is at a loss, okay? And that is just facts. No one can deny that. So the government wants to, naturally, I believe, they want to push the narrative of these CBDCs because what other narrative to push further than to say, hey, you trusted something that was anonymous. You trusted something that was backed by nothing. You trusted something that was essentially, we can't help you if things go wrong. So that's why they're pushing out CBDCs, okay? They want this narrative to be pushed. It's the best time to do it because right now people are looking for opportunity. And they're not seeing that with Bitcoin as much anymore because, well, we've plateaued for a long time. I'm not saying that we're going to keep going down for a long time, but think about it. Every month, this guy talks. Bitcoin moves in the direction of what he says, okay? If this is a narrative that they are reaching towards, and they know that this guy has a lot of power, then naturally use your imagination as to what he's going to slowly try to achieve. So without saying too much, hopefully you can connect the dots because I don't want to put down the government at all. Now, the reason why I'm a little bit of a neutral party when it comes to the government, the Fed, and all these things is because, one, I don't entirely think the government is bad, okay? Yes, there are certain things that they do that's a little bit sketchy, is a little bit interesting. It makes you raise your eyebrows, but think about it. A lot of these people who go and they tell you escape the system, escape the matrix, put all your stuff on Tether, get your stuff decentralized, throw it on a different exchange. Look what happened to Luna. It wasn't backed by, even though they said it was backed by something, it really wasn't, and it crashed. Everybody lost money in Luna. If you don't know what that is, Luna, now called Luna Classic, look what happened to it. So we're in a situation where these guys want to capitalize on failure of crypto. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing. But think about it. When you lose money, when things go wrong in your life, right? And you need loans, who do you go to? The government. You need to take your kids, or, one day some of us will be fathers and mothers or whatever. We'll have kids. Sometimes we'll have a rough patch in our life. Where do we take loans out? The government. The government gives us our loans. The government handles our mortgages. The governments are handling our, FAFSAs. The governments are handling our students' aid. Some of the governments are helping us with our citizens, senior citizens. The government is not entirely all bad. They do help you in times of difficulty, and they do make it a challenge for you sometimes. But think about it. Are they all really that bad? Because people who push out this narrative of saying, escape the system, don't let the government control your money, whatever. Bro, when things fail, you run straight back to the people, aka the government. So, I had to make this video because I wanted to explain the pros and the cons of what their narrative is, what their mission could possibly be, and overall, just a hypothetical situation that, yes, it sucks that it's, Bitcoin is supposed to be empowering. Bitcoin is supposed to be, a way to not get involved, a way to escape. It is supposed to be that. That's the goal, to not rely on all these different parties. But again, corruption does exist in this world. People are corrupt. There are influencers out there, there are content creators out there, there are YouTubers out there who do non-disclosure agreements, they don't disclose anything to their audiences. They pump and dump you. I personally have never taken any paid promotions related to a specific crypto project. All I have is the Discord. That's where I monetize my hard work. And again, I've done referrals and stuff, but again, some people aren't like me. Some people aren't like some of the good guys. There's people out there who don't even have a paid Discord. There are some people out there who genuinely just want to help people, and they do stuff entirely for free, who don't monetize anything because they don't need it, right? But again, that's kudos to them, amazing job to them. But there are people out there who are out to get you. There are people out there who prey on your downfall. And the government is just trying to essentially show you, hey, we like the idea, we like the understanding of digital currency, we want to be there for you, and they're slowly trying to push the narrative of you being on their side. And as much as you might think this all sounds crazy, they have this guy on their side who dictates the direction of the market. You think that he genuinely goes up there and thinks off the top of his head? No. There are meetings, there are people higher up above him, there are people who talk to him, there are people who he has NDAs with, there are things he can't say or wants to say. He's human. Now, again, this video was just to explain to you that the governments have their agendas, the governments have their missions, but the government is not entirely all bad, okay? That's why I need to explain to you, yes, it might seem corrupt in the moment, but if things were handled correctly, a bit more efficiently, we can't all have good things. That's what I'm trying to say. We can't all have good things in this world because people are corrupt. And so the government is just trying to simply make things a little easier, make things a little more simpler, have a little bit more control, because they can't do anything when scammers on the internet rug pull you for millions and millions of dollars yet. There are cybersecurity specialists that they are now starting to hire and work on these things for. So again, guys, that's the Fed. Things aren't looking good, but things aren't looking bad either. Now, what does this mean in regards to Bitcoin's future? It can be either very good or it can be very, very bad. So I will let you choose your own opinion. From this point on, my job was just to provide this information and this content and these context. Everything I've mentioned in this video. I will see you guys in the next video. And be sure to join the Crypto Network Community Discord. And, a shout out to all the people during this bear market. If you're watching this video, it's currently September 27, 2022. And shout out to all the people who are consistently pushing out updates for their audiences, their followers. It's a rough time, but people need to hear the truth. And hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. The good, the bad, the good narratives, the bad narratives. Again, to each their own. I'm just sharing my own personal opinion. You can't hate me for it. Again, peace out.